right. All right. Let me see if my sound is up on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook and YouTube, and we should be good to go. I just need somebody to confirm as they jump on. Tonight we're talking about stocks. We're talking about stocks that some of you wouldn't have bought because sometimes economics is not your favorite cup of tea. But we're going to talk about these stocks today because this is going to really make a difference because, as you guys know, we're officially going into a recession. The question is when. And there's an 81% chance it's going to happen next year or halfway down the pipeline next year. For a lot of you, you got to understand some of the stocks that you're in, you're going to have to buckle your seatbelts and hold on very tight because it's going to be a nice long ride, maybe 2 to 3 years before the market finally pulls back up. And for others that's in the market, if you have extra funds and you're still trying to trade in this market, you're still trying to make a lot of money in this market, some of these stocks I'm about to talk about is kind of recession-proof. Now, if you learn what I'm talking about tonight, this can really change the dynamics. Let me see. Kay, can you hear me? Let me see if Kay can hear me, and we should be good to go. Everybody on Facebook, YouTube can hear me now? I think I should be good. Let me get a comment below. Yes, no. Can you guys hear me on that side? I think we finally should be good. Once I get the confirmation, I'm ready to go. All right, 1 second. All right, good. We're good. Okay, cool. All right, so here we go. We're talking about stocks. Now, for a lot of you, some of the stocks you have, you're not going to see profits for at least, I would say at least 2 to 5 years before you really see profits. So I always recommend, too, if you're in the stock market, don't sell. For a lot of you, I know once the portfolio starts going down, because some of your portfolios are down anywhere from 30 to almost 80 to maybe 90%, especially if you bought stocks that's not valuable. But tonight we're talking about stocks that you really should consider investing into. This is for your kids, even for yourself. That can make you a lot of money. I'm going to first start off by just saying this. These are recession-proof stocks. Some of them are short-term, meaning through the recession, you should still make money. And some of them are long-term. After recession is done, 3 to 6 years, you still should be making a lot of money with this, especially if you could hold longer due to self-discipline. We're going to first talk about the first 4, which does not go with what I'm talking about today. These are just the common ones that anybody would know. Okay, Alibaba. Okay, Amazon. If Alibaba ticker BABA, if it goes under, my opinion, I'm being honest with you. Tonight, I'm also giving you what I feel it should go under for me to buy. If BABA goes under $60, that's a buy. If Amazon, ticker AMZN, goes under $60, that's a guaranteed buy. People, Amazon is one of the biggest companies in the world. Amazon Web Services is one of the biggest cloud companies in the world. People, you're talking, these stocks are just no-brainers, what we're talking about right now. No-brainers, the first 4, before I really get into the real stocks I want to talk about. Tesla, people, Tesla right now, the stock split. Currently, I think it's at 280. If that stock goes under, let's say $150 or $100, that's a no-brainer. To me, that's automatically a buy. I'm not giving you financial advice. This is just educational information. So me personally, I would recommend, guys, the first 4 I'm talking about, of course, Apple. These are stocks that you should know about. You should be buying if it tanks. To me, I'm going to say it again. BABA, Alibaba, if it goes under $60, 100% buy. Amazon, if it goes under 60, that's a no-brainer. Come on, guys. Amazon is at your front door every single day. We could talk about so many different dynamics of Amazon. Tesla stock. If Tesla goes under 300, currently I think it's at 280, 270. If it goes if it goes under 100, that's a guaranteed buy. Without a doubt, the minimum is going to happen a couple years later. You're going to double your money. That's a minimum. Apple, I think right now is at about $100 and something. If Apple goes under $80, people under $50, you guys know that's 100% buy. That's what any average investor would tell you to buy. These are probably like the top 4. They'll probably be the top 10 they'll give you. But what we're going to talk about is I want to open up your mind a little bit and tell you about stocks that some of you may not think about, but it comes with economics. When there's a recession, I want you to understand banks usually, the interest rates are higher. Also, too, they're not lending as easy as they're lending now. Usually the lender requirements change. And if you guys want to look that up, feel free. The 2008 recession, when it started to flow in to 2009, 2010, 11, a lot of lending wasn't available. And you got to understand what happens. A lot of bank stocks drop in value to the point where Bank of America, which is currently maybe at $30 to $40, dropped to $3 or $2. People understand recessions change the dynamic, but give you an opportunity to create a lot of wealth if you pay attention to what's going on economically. Now, we're going to first talk about this category here, storage companies. Now, you got to really think about this, right? A lot of people are living above their means. A lot of people are living in homes that they really can't afford, working 2-3 jobs, or probably working check by check. So if they lost that $200,000 a year, $300,000 a year, or $100,000 a year, or $50,000 a year salary from the company they work for, a lot of them would lose their homes. The first thing they're going to have to do is go rent a storage unit. And I'm telling you, this always happens. You got to really think about it. The storage companies are the most amazing and lucrative companies you could find. I'm going to tell you why. Really think about this, okay? It's a wall with a light bulb, and some of them have AC. When people go through vulnerable times or times of crisis where they have no shelter, they have to store their goods somewhere. So imagine, people, you got to really think about how a recession works. A lot of people lose jobs. People are fighting for unemployment. Lending is not available. Interest rates are high because it's trying to bring down inflation. What's going to happen is people are going to run to what? Storage units. So ticker CUBU, which is Cube Storage. People, it's an $11 billion company. If that stock, to me, drops under $25 or even under $30, people, that stock is something you should have on your watch list. Highly recommended. Number 2, in the storage category, public storage. A lot of you have heard of public storage. Storage stocks will be very valuable if we go into a recession because people will be running for shelter. They have nowhere to stay. So they're downsizing from these big homes to fit in an apartment or a 2-bedroom or some type of rental. So now they need somewhere to put the excess things they have. And guess where they're going to go? To these storage companies. Now, a lot of you may not know because when it comes to ticker PSA, ticker PSA is public storage. Public storage is a very expensive stock, roughly I think at $300 and maybe $350 a share. To me, if the market would ticker PSA, P as in Paul, S as in Sam, A as in Apple, that's public storage. That's another big storage company. We spoke about Cube a moment ago, and I'm going to tell you why this is so important. Because when you look at how Cube works and public storage work, they work similarly and differently at the same time. Like example, Cube will put a cube in front of your door, pretty much a container in front of your door. You put your stuff in it, they'll get your company to pick it back up and put it in their storage facility. Public storage, no, you're going to manually drive to that public storage location near your home and unpack all your boxes of stuff and put it in the storage, and they're going to charge you a monthly fee, which is funny, which also fluctuates. See, public storage is not a fixed price. You could have the first 2-3 months, it's fixed, and it starts to adjust. But when there's a recession, a lot of you need to understand, people are losing homes. A lot of people are living above their means right now. If they lost their job, they wouldn't know how to survive. They're going to run to storage units because they have to downsize. Storage stocks is going to be one of the biggest things people want to listen to and people want to buy. I'm telling you. Number 2, Affirm. People, Affirm is a buy now, pay later company. Affirm is one of the biggest installment companies in the world. Also has a big contract with many different companies such as PayPal, Amazon, and many other big corporations. Now, you guys got to understand ticker AFRM. I think that's the ticker. Yeah, I see AFRM. Or you can also go on Yahoo and type in Affirm, but I think it's AFRM. Affirm is currently, I think they had bad earnings a couple days ago. The stock is roughly at, I think, $24. Imagine buying Affirm at, let's say, it tanks to $5. Understand what's going to happen. There's two sides to really look at when you're looking at Affirm. People, when there's recessions, a lot of people don't have savings. So the first thing they want to do is buy now, but now they want to pay later because they don't want to pay in full because they want to reserve their dollars. So a company like a firm is going to really give people a lot of value because now you get to buy now, pay later, and how they make their money is off of interest, as you guys know. So imagine, and this stock was at $100 and maybe $50, $160. Now the stock is at $25, which I believe if the recession happened could probably already be in a position where it's at $5. Then as we go heavily into the recession, starts to pull back up. Because you guys got to understand, buy now, pay later, discounted stores that I'm about to talk about is going to make you a lot of money. Number 3, let's talk about the next category. Dollar Tree. People understand when there's a recession, people want deals, people want to save money. Okay? People want to save money. Shouts out to Paul in the building. Paul Trout is in the building. Yeah, we just talked about Public Storage, which is one of the biggest storage companies, and we're talking about the fact of when there's a recession, a lot of people that's living above their means right now, that's living check to check, no matter what wealth level, because some of you think the people that's going to struggle the most is going to be only the poor. No, they're going to struggle harder. But the rich that's living above their means, they suffer too, because some of these people have mortgages they can't really afford. And once things collapse, wealthy people, they downsize immediately out of their mansions, out of their $1 million homes. And the first thing they're going to need is a storage. You got to really think about it. They're going to need a storage to store their products. So what I'm doing, guys, is preparing you guys mentally for what happens when there's a recession. What stocks should you take a look at if you're trying to still make money during the recession? Storage companies is the first category I talked about. I also talked about buy now, pay later companies like, of course, a firm, ticker AFRM, which has a big contract with, of course, Amazon and many other companies, PayPal and numerous companies. And let's talk about now the discounted stores. People, TJ Maxx, Ross, these companies, you guys know, will be making money no matter what. Through thick or thin, these companies will be making money. But what I want to talk about this discounted store, Dollar Tree, ticker DLTR. DLTR is exactly like the brother says here, but balling on a budget. A lot of people will be at the dollar store buying a lot of things when the recession happens. Because when life gets rough for a lot of people who don't have savings and they lose their jobs and they can't get unemployment, the first thing they're going to do is, I want to save money. I'm going to discounted stores such as TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Dollar Tree. People, Dollar Tree is going to be booming with business. Dollar Tree is already booming with business now. You can imagine when times get rough, people will be in storage, putting their stuff in storage units, downsizing. People will be, of course, using buy now, pay later options, such as a firm, ticker AFRM. People will be buying at discounted retail stores, such as, of course, Dollar Tree, TJ Maxx, Ross, these companies. Then I want you guys to understand, we're going to go a little bit into economics, a little bit deeper, okay? Now, let's look at it for a moment. Appreciate you, Kate West. And the reason I'm talking and giving you guys this, because I always say trading stocks is not just buying and selling. One is self-discipline. You have to be patient with yourself to understand long-term you're going to win. Number 2, you have to also understand a bit about economics to understand how does the economy work. What happens when interest rates go up? What happens when interest rates go down? What happens when people can't get lending to buy a house? What stocks go up during hurricane season? What stocks go down during hurricane season? People, you got to understand this is all economics. We're going to now talk about, for a lot of you, you probably have a portfolio where all your stocks, you're hoping it goes up. What about if I told you that the next 3 stocks we're going to talk about, these are stocks that kind of hedge against the market. So when the market goes down, these stocks make money only when the market goes down. So imagine ticker SQQQ. Q is 3 Qs. Pretty much think of it like this. As you guys can see, SQQQ is up maybe $2 to $3 today. And Every time the market goes down, okay, the NASDAQ, okay, especially the NASDAQ 100, you guys got to see that SQQQ is up. Because what it's essentially doing, it's working the inverse of the market. It's playing against the top 100 stocks of the NASDAQ. So as those stocks go down, SQQQ is up. And a lot of you need to have these hedges in your portfolio, at least one hedge. Because if you got everything in your portfolio going up, what's betting against the market when it starts to tank like it's been doing? You have nothing betting against it, and that's why you're not making money. Number two, for a lot of you crypto buyers that love Bitcoin and many other cryptos, we're going to talk about ticker BITI. BITI is a stock as Bitcoin goes down, this stock goes up. As Bitcoin goes down, this stock goes up. And some of you could have made a play the other day. Example, when Bitcoin was at $24,000, BITI was down. The moment Bitcoin hit $19,400 the other day, BITI went up maybe $2, $3, $4. So you could imagine if Bitcoin goes to 10,000, 8,000, or 5,000, BITI should be to the roof, because BITI goes against in the inverse direction of Bitcoin. It's a way to play Bitcoin. It's in other words, it's kind of like you're shorting in a weird way. You're betting against Bitcoin, because as Bitcoin goes up, right? BITI is going down. As Bitcoin goes down, BITI is going up. I want you guys to understand, these are great hedges to really leverage the market and hedge yourself to really win against what's about to happen. Because for a lot of you, all your stocks, you're hoping it goes up. Do you have anything that's betting down? Anything that's going against the market? That's what we're talking about with some of these stocks. And some of the stocks I talked about earlier, these are recession-proof stocks. They make money in the recession or out of the recession, which was the storage companies, discounted retailers such as Dollar Tree, Ross, TJ Maxx, things like that. And the last one I want to talk about when it comes to the leverage stocks is SARK. SARK is SARK. Now, you guys know ARK or ARKK is Kathy Woods, okay? And Kathy Woods is fully invested into a lot of bio stocks / technology stocks. Her ETF, somebody created something called SARK, which is shorting her ETF. So as her ETF goes down, this stock is going up. And the person who created, a company who created this, has made billions of dollars betting against Kathy Woods, ARKK or ARK. And this is another hedge again, because a lot of you don't understand, when you're playing the market, it's not just about going up. It's also about leveraging yourself to hope that you have something positioned just in case the market goes down. Now, earlier we spoke about how banks work. When there's a recession, banks do not like to really lend money. They increase the lending requirements. So now instead of maybe a 5% deposit, you need maybe 8% deposit. Instead of your score being a 680, they want a 710. Now, for a lot of you, that's why I'm prepping you mentally now to get yourself ready. So when the market pulls back, your credit score should be to the roof. You should have good, strong savings. And I also told you your tax returns should be very strong. Stop putting a whole bunch of losses and not have any income on your tax return. Because when the market crashes, you might want to buy a triplex. You might want to buy a duplex. You might want to buy an apartment building because, again, the market will give you an opportunity that you will never get for another maybe 12 years. Hypothetically, a home that's 600 might go down to 200. This is your time to buy. But for some of you that bought 2 years ago during COVID, when interest rates were low, I warned you, I didn't think for myself it was the best idea. I'm not buying just because of low interest rates and a high home price, which is some of these home prices was past the market. At the end of the day, you have no equity in that home. So when you really think about it, what's the point of putting yourself in debt for 30 years and you can't even leverage your home if you ran into an $80,000 problem? Some of you bought a home during COVID where you overpaid for the home. That means you have zero equity, zero. So if you ran into a problem and needed $50,000 out of your home, you can't do it. And here's what's funny, you bought it at such a low interest rate. Those rates are not coming back. I doubt that for right now. So that means not only you can't refinance, you on top of that, there is no equity in your house. What a lose-lose situation. Now, at the end of the day, I want to talk about banks. Well, you got to really look at it. I like to find opportunities, okay? My goal is always to find you guys opportunities when it comes to making money in the stock market, okay? That's why I said, okay, what we're talking about tonight is companies that are recession-proof, storage stocks, discounted retail, Dollar Tree. People will want to save money. People will want to do buy now, pay later, such as tickers like stocks like Affirm, AFRM. We will also, I talked about leverage stocks, stocks that go against certain directions of stocks. So while certain stocks are going up, like the SPY, the S&P 500 likes to go up. And a lot of people hope that it goes up, actually. And there's also an ETF for the S&P 500 called SPY. Well, SQQQ is betting against the SPY. So as the SPY is going down, SQQ is going up. A lot of you need to have these hedged stocks. I also spoke about BITI. This is a crypto play. As Bitcoin goes down, BITI is going up because it bets against Bitcoin. As Bitcoin goes down, BITI goes up. So if Bitcoin goes to $2,000 and you're in BITI right now, you should make a lot of money. But the moment Bitcoin starts going back up years later, you might want to get out of BITI. People, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to take some questions before I talk about my last sector. Are you familiar with NACA program? If so, how do you feel about the program? I've heard about NACA numerous times. The government tries to, this is a more of a, you know what I'll do because it goes in different dynamics. I'll DM me about NACA and I'll explain it all to you because I want to stay focused on stocks. But I'll definitely explain it all to you. DM me and I'll explain what NACA is and how does it really work. And I'll also explain the pros and the cons about NACA for that individual that asked that question. The last sector I want to take time to talk about is bank stocks. Remember I told you during a recession, interest rates are high. People can't get lending. Some of you guys can't even refinance because you bought at such a low rate in the last 2 years, but you bought the house at such a high price, meaning you have no equity. You can never leverage the home. And we all know the moment life gets rough, some of you, once you lose your job, that home is lost. For people like me and many others that love my social media platform, we're going to come buy your home at an 80% discount. That's what we're waiting for. That's why I'm preparing a lot of you to get yourself together, your tax returns, your credit, and understand the moment the recession happens, people start losing jobs. Because you already see how many companies are cutting. Snapchat today, just they're laying off workers. Workday, the company, just laid off 900 workers. Tesla is laying off workers. I forgot what other company just laid off 500 workers. These people are laying workers off instantly. Because at the end of the day, they see what's about to happen. Now, a lot of you, you're still working for the company you work for. You're very comfortable. Some of you even believe you're never going to get fired. You're never going to get laid off. You're never going to get, even if they use this word furlough to make it sound better. At the end of the day, people, this sector here can change your life. Bank of America, bank stocks will start to tank because normal situations, as interest rates are higher, banks make money. But the problem is when recessions happen, interest rates are higher because Jerome Powell is trying to control inflation, trying to bring down inflation. But the problem is now banks are not comfortable just giving anybody a loan anymore. So now they're not really lending. And we all know banks make a lot of their money off of lending, putting you in debt. That's how banks make their money. You bring your money in the bank, They give you less than 1% in your money market or savings account. They lend you money to buy a home at 4%, 5%, 7%. That's how they make their money. Then they, of course, sell the contract after 90 days. That's how the game works. And they continuously recycle that same cycle every single day and make billions of dollars a month while you make pennies and you're in debt for 30 years. Sad to say, but that's how banks make money. But during recessions, interest rates are high. You would think, well, banks are making money. No. They're scared to lend because so many people have lost jobs. There's not too much stability within certain individuals. So now they have to think thoroughly, how do we figure out who's worthy of getting loans? So now they increase their lending requirements, and some of you will see it's very difficult to get a loan during a recession. So now you're asking yourself, well, Bobby, how do I survive? See, the mom and pop MLOs, you're going to need a lot of them. Because these MLOs are going to give you a lot of direction, give you a lot of options to getting finances to take down some properties that are deals. Because a lot of you need to prepare yourself for the opportunity that's about to happen. Because, and I told you guys from years back, the recession is coming. And it's coming very aggressively. And you just heard what Jerome Powell just said a couple of days ago. He's not going to stop increasing interest rates for the rest of the year, going also into next year. So guys, understand interest rates will probably be at 8%, 9%, 10%. And by that time, the market already crashed. But once it crashed, the question is, what are you doing to prepare for the crash? That's the question. How do you win? How do you prepare for the opportunity of a lifetime? Remember, I always say this. Whenever there's a catastrophe in life, there's always an opportunity. The question is, what are you going to do with the opportunity? I'm going to take some questions before I get off this live. Appreciate all of you that's on the live, from Facebook to YouTube to IG. Guys, make sure you guys support the movement. Get on Spotify. Follow me on TikTok at Mentourme954. Let me see if I have any questions. So where should we invest our money? Question one. I knew that question was coming. Right now or during the recession? If you're talking now, I recommend to not invest your money. I recommend you stay as liquid as possible. Because, guys, you got to understand, listen to what I just said. Banks are going to increase their lending requirements when the recession happens, meaning you need more money to put down to do whatever it is you need to do. So you're going to need a lot of capital if you don't have it. So it's better right now for a lot of you, keep your money cash. If you're going to buy a couple cryptos or a couple stocks that's at all-time lows, there's nothing wrong with that, but don't overdo it. That's why I'm telling people with any investing you're doing right now, be careful. Buy in increments. Maybe if you want to invest into something now, let's say stocks or crypto, buy a little bit now, wait for next year, then buy some more. Be careful. See, this, I think he said he just bought 6 plots of land. It's a funny scenario. I just got a big offer on one of my pieces of land too, which is I got a couple, maybe like 10 pieces of land, and 2 of them just got an amazing offer, and I'm thinking about selling them. I bought these pieces of land for about $2,000 a piece, and I got companies offering me for these pieces of land $46,000 each. So I'm actually thinking about selling them and cashing out because, again, I don't feel comfortable with what's going on next year. But also understand, too, when real estate markets crash, people get scared. So they start to sell not only houses, they start to sell land at all-time lows. Because why? The value of homes and the value of land goes down. The only thing in real estate that doesn't go down during a recession is rental demand. When I say you being a landlord during a recession, especially if you have your tenants on Section 8, it's kind of hard for you to lose. The government never stops paying. But for you having working employees, people always need somewhere to stay. That's why I say one thing I love about commercial real estate. When you own an apartment, or if you own a triplex, or you own a duplex, you own 2 triplexes, whatever, people always need somewhere to rent. You can never stop making money. even in a recession, because all those people that are living in homes that they can't afford, they're going to downsize and come rent from you. You're going to always win. That's why I tell a lot of you, save your money, invest, and have people pay you rent. Passive income. That's how you're going to win the race long term. I thought I'd share this live tonight to really give you guys some direction of how economics work. And I'm always going to bring economics to you guys because I want you guys to understand, at the end of the day, people, you got to be smart with your money. How you spend it, how you invest it, how you analyze it, how you save it. And understanding when's the right time to invest. Because right now, between now and the next 2 years, I would say 12 to 18 months, you have to be very careful where you put your money. Because you can lose a lot of money or you can make a lot of money in the next 2 to 5 years if you invest it right. A lot of people became millionaires because of the recession, the last recession. They became multi-millionaires and multi-billionaires, some of them, because of the last 2008 recession. The question is, if we go into recession now, are you prepared for what's about to happen? Because it's time for you to get your slice of the pie. But for me, all I'm doing is stacking up, saving, making sure my credit is good, which I'm ready to go. The recession could happen. I am ready because I know what I want. I know what I'm waiting for. Mentourme.com. Appreciate all the love. People, I want you guys to have a wonderful night, a wonderful evening. And life, people, understand, if you want to be great, you have to learn how to open your mind and educate yourself to financial literacy. This is your boy Bobby from Mentourme.com, your wealth coach, your wealth practitioner. Everything I talk about, I practice what I preach. I have a lot of money in the market, almost $1 million in the stock market right now. At the end of the day, I'm down almost $600,000. But at the end of the day, people, it's about long-term growth. It's about retiring. It's about investing. It's about knowing that investing is the new saving. The question I'm always going to ask you guys, are you creating wealth while you're living? Because that's very important. Because once you create wealth while you're living, once you're gone, the wealth will be, of course, passed on to generations if those individuals know how to manage it. This is your boy Bobby from Mentourme.com. You guys have a wonderful evening. Enjoy your night. May God bless you all. Be great. I love you all. Paul, Jerry was popping. Chris was popping. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? Appreciate everybody that's on the live, everybody that's eventually going to watch this live. Appreciate all of you guys across the world, across the states, all that good stuff. Mentourme.com. You guys enjoy. Don't forget on Spotify. Follow me on Spotify. I got a lot of great content. Make sure you guys get on there and go learn. Go educate yourself. A lot of great free content. Mentourme.com.